for me, most of my films start at a place that's very personal, something that's going on in my life. And for this one, I was very much inspired by a road trip that I took with my then girlfriend, now wife, and we spent 6 weeks on the road doing a lot of camping and hiking. And so for days, she would sometimes be the only person that I saw, let alone the only female. And whenever we would encounter people, I found myself becoming a little bit more protective than I normally am. She's a strong, independent woman and certainly does not need my protection, but I thought that was an interesting emotional place to start a movie with. There definitely is a dystopian component. I wrote this script about 6 or 7 years ago, and I feel like the world has really changed and shifted since then, and there's a lot more things that are being discussed and being talked about, and I hope this film contributes positively to that discussion.
I love this sci-fi as a genre and horror as a genre, so I love that it was a love story in that world, and I was excited to, film being very, very new to me. I've done a few since, but I mean, I think that was it was one of the very first projects I did after leaving Hamilton, and I just was excited to learn how to, do my best to try to learn how to tell stories in a new way.
I'm always drawn to stories about relationships because that's the world we live in. We're social animals. We're constantly with people, and how we interact with them and communicate with them is really what excites me, And I have done my fair share of love stories, but I don't know how to describe this, but I don't think I was given this much to do in a relationship in a film. Where I was completely owning myself and wasn't someone's sidekick, and in fact refused to be someone's sidekick in this movie. And I kind of feel like those are the kind of roles that really excite me these days. And I first started off with Slumdog. It was great, and then everyone thought I was going to play the sunshine girl in every film, and I was a primatologist in one of them, but really did nothing. And so it was time for me to own a female character, and this was actually amongst my first.
I remember being a young actor and people saying again and again that life, will give you the seasoning to bring to your work, and I've really found that to be true. When I fell in love and got married, I was like, oh, I understand how to approach these stories now. Becoming a dad changes everything too. So a lot of it for me was just bringing that, bringing what it felt like. Will is 2 or 3 weeks away from proposing to Ava, and I remember very clearly what that feels like, as a young man. So just bringing all that to the table and into this world.